In a cozy little village, nestled among rolling green hills, lived a small brown dog named Bim, with his floppy ears, big round eyes, and a fluffy tail that never stopped wagging. Bim was a friend to everyone. He wore a bright red collar with a tiny bell that jingled merrily wherever he went, a sound that always brought smiles to the faces of the villagers. One sunny morning, Bim was trotting happily through the village square. The cobblestone streets were bustling with life. He playfully chased a butterfly, his little paws pattering on the ground. Children waved at him, calling out his name, and Bim would stop to greet them with a joyful bark and a friendly lick on the hand. The whole village was his playground, and every day was a new adventure. He loved the feeling of the warm sun on his fur and the cheerful sounds of village life. Suddenly, Bim stopped dead in his tracks. His floppy ears perked up, twitching. He tilted his head, listening intently. A faint sound had caught his attention, cutting through the happy noise of the village. It was a tiny, desperate meow. Where was it coming from? Bim looked around, his big brown eyes scanning every corner. The sound was faint but persistent, like a little cry for help. His playful mood shifted to one of curiosity and concern. He knew he had to find the source of that sound. Following the sound, Bim trotted past the bakery, sniffing the air, and then toward the old oak tree at the edge of the village. The meows grew louder and more frantic. He looked up, and there, high on a thick branch, was a tiny white kitten. It was clinging to the bark, its little body trembling with fear. The poor thing had climbed too high and couldn't get back down. Its eyes were wide with panic. Seeing the kitten's distress, a wave of determination washed over Bim. He knew he had to do something. Bim's mind raced. The branch was too high for him to jump. He circled the base of the mighty oak tree, his nose to the ground, searching for a solution. His eyes scanned the area, and then he spotted a long, sturdy stick lying in the grass nearby. It was just the right length. An idea sparked in his clever mind. He could use the stick to create a bridge for the little kitten. With a determined grunt, he grabbed one end of the stick in his mouth and started dragging it toward the tree. Carefully, Bim positioned the stick, resting one end on a lower branch and propping the other end against the trunk, creating a gentle ramp that led directly to the branch where the kitten was stranded. He barked softly, a reassuring sound to let the kitten know he was there to help. The little kitten watched, its fear slowly turning into curiosity. Bim nudged the end of the stick gently with his nose, demonstrating that it was safe. Slowly, cautiously, the kitten placed a paw on the stick, testing its stability. With Bim watching closely and offering quiet barks of encouragement, the kitten began its slow descent. One tiny paw after another, it carefully made its way down the makeshift ramp. Bim kept his eyes fixed on the kitten, ready to act if it slipped. Finally, the kitten reached the lower branch and then hopped safely onto the soft grass below. It looked up at Bim and gave a grateful little meow, rubbing against his leg. The rescue was a success. Just then, a group of villagers who had gathered to watch the scene unfold burst into applause. "Hooray for Bim!" they cheered. The children ran over and enveloped Bim in a big warm hug, ruffling his fur and telling him what a good boy he was. Bim's tail wagged so hard his whole body wiggled with pride and happiness. He had saved the day, not with super strength, but with his quick thinking and kind heart. He was their little hero. As the sun began to set, casting a beautiful orange and purple glow across the sky, Bim and his new kitten friend sat together under the big oak tree. The kitten snuggled close to Bim's warm fur, purring contentedly. The tiny bell on Bim's collar tinkled softly in the evening breeze. He looked out over his peaceful village, feeling a deep sense of joy. In this small, quiet corner of the world, even the smallest act of kindness could make you a hero. And tonight, that hero was a little brown dog named Bim.